I feel like you could have almost just a generic set of resumes that look and read the same, and the same thing can happen with job descriptions. So how do you keep the uniqueness, the individuality, the organic approach to finding a job and finding a candidate? How do you keep that relevant in 2025? I still think there are opportunities to improve that process.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a solution for it, but what I've seen, just from, being in the recruiting space myself for vendors and applying for different jobs over the time is that, so they have these AI tools in there to make it so that you don't get like, because of tools like LinkedIn, you're getting like, you look at a LinkedIn job, you'll see like 1,000 people already applied for it or 500 people already applied for it. So now there's a huge ton of people that are applying for that job, and you have to use AI to sort through them. But meanwhile, on the candidate side of things, you can game the system by changing your resume or whatever to maximize your experience to that job. And so at the end of the day, you're stuck at zero.
Yeah.
So like, how are we going to get around this? How are hiring managers going to be less, overwhelmed, so to speak? How are we going to know that the experience and the skills and stuff that somebody's putting out there are their actual experience and skills? And so, I mean, a shout out to my friends at Acorn with their employee referrals. I think employee referrals are becoming more and more important now because it's a way to get through that.
Yeah. And employee referrals, I mean, go way back to the beginning of time. That is such a key piece of finding the right candidate. I mentioned that with my first job. I knew someone there. And I look at the jobs I've had throughout my career. I've used tools certainly um, to navigate through and finding jobs, but who you know and building that network, and it's so important. It's so important because that's going to ultimately play in to the honesty that people have around your skill set and whether or not you'd be a good fit.
Yeah. Now, like you have a daughter, Chloe, that is in college right now.
Yep.
Is she a sophomore or a
He's a
junior?
sophomore.
She's a sophomore. Is she terrified about trying to find a job? Like, what's the kind of chatter for that younger generation, and what are your concerns?
Of course. I think when you're looking for one of your early jobs, you're always nervous. I think you're nervous as you get older too. But yeah, regarding Chloe specifically, I've worked with her on her resume. I've talked with her about how to interview, look people in the eye, be honest, be organic, be original, um, be confident. But yeah, there's trepidation, I think, with that age group and finding jobs. And one of the things I'd recommend for someone in college or just out of college is just be honest with yourself and don't expect to just be handed a high paying job. You do need to work for it. And if you're good and you're going to bring a lot of value to a company, that'll be recognized.
Yep. And I'll add to that: do not judge yourself by what you see on LinkedIn. I do tell college kids and whatnot that LinkedIn is just going to poison your mind. You're going to think everybody's getting this dream job that you're not getting, but you don't realize that it's the best version of that job that they're getting or how they're going to get it. So it just don't. It's not a race. Your first job's not going to be your last job.